From Halifax, from Dewsbury, anybody else? Of course, Bradford. Lots of towns and cities within striking distance of here who also have elections in 5 weeks' time. So let me say from this platform, if there are people in other towns and cities who want to put themselves up as respect candidates in those elections, you too should take these forms and put yourselves forward in these elections. Lastly, I want to thank specifically the different groups who were involved in this great campaign. There were many different kinds of support. There were the people who came to me up front on the first day and said, "We're with you whether we win or lose." You'll forgive me, they're the most dear to me. And then secondly, there's the people who came up front and said, "We're with you later in the campaign." Then there's thirdly the people who said, "We cannot come up front, but we are with you and we're working in the background." And then there's the people who neither worked up front or in the background and maybe did or maybe didn't support me at all. You'll forgive me, although all are welcome now. You know, the Russians have a saying, after the war, a lot of brave soldiers come up. There's now nobody in Bradford prepared to admit that they voted for Imran Hussain last Thursday, and I can understand why. That's fine. This is a new day. Whether you were with me in the start or you're just with me now, that's fine. We'll all be together. But some people perform such heroics that it's impossible not to refer to them, either personally or collectively. The first one is the man who is the longest serving member of Respect in Bradford, who stood in Bradford West at the last general election. My election agent, Ash, where is he? Where is Ash? Right behind me. Ash was the man who met me when I arrived here, with Riaz Ahmed, who's down there taking the pictures, with Abu Bakr, God rest his soul, with Kosar and Arabia. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 people, including a baby. And look what we built in 3 weeks. This is a kind of miracle, you know. This is a kind of miracle. The second is the election organizer, who until 3 weeks ago was a high-ranking member of the Labour Party, an election organizer of the Labour Party. But when I arrived in Bradford and announced my candidacy, he immediately expelled himself from the Labour Party and organised this victory. Hamid Hussain. Hamid. Wallahi, wallahi, I'll never forget you. I'll never forget what you did. I'll never forget your voice. He's even on the BBC Today programme. In fact, sounding like an MP. I don't know when I'm retiring. Brothers, there's somebody blocking a funeral cortege with a silver Golf. LF 57. LM 57. If you've got a gold Golf, please move it because the funeral. Is it a gold Golf or a silver Golf? Silver Golf. In front of the funeral parlour, please. Please move that, the funeral's trying to get out. Hamid Hussain was an immense presence in this election, as were others. But I want to, especially for the younger people, particularly draw attention to the Facebook page, which my brother Amir made from nothing and spent day and night building it into a Facebook page with thousands of people as members of it. Almost all of them from Bradford. There was the banner team who risked literally life and limb, scaling buildings, climbing trees and lampposts, and affixing the greatest banner and poster campaign that I have ever seen. And there was a second group and a third group who all the media now recognise were decisive in this election. This was an election of young people and women, as well as men and elders, and for the first time in Bradford politics. And I want to echo what my sister, my comrade, my friend, Salma Yaqub said. You know, as Mr. Jinnah said, Mr. Jinnah, the great leader of Pakistan independence, said, to prevail. Young people were the first to come on board. Women were the second, and the elders were the third, and who tipped the balance in the end. I'm grateful to all the imams, all the peers, all the priests, all the people of religion in this great city who used their influence in the end. But I believe that those, by and large, moved with the street rather than moved the street. I believe they could see what their young people were telling them. Many older men told me that they had to succumb to our campaign because their children wouldn't allow them to do otherwise. You know, in the old days, sometimes some of the men collected the votes of the young people and cast them. Now the young people are collecting the votes of the old people and casting them. And that's a great sign for the future here in Bradford. So, this has been a long speech, I hope you'll forgive me. It is getting chilly, and I have to now go and eat from the curry capital of England, whilst burning the midnight oil on these candidates. So, if you want to be a candidate, get a form from Naveed, fill it in right here and now, and give it back so that we can consider it. If you haven't joined Respect yet, fill in the forms that have been distributed here today or join online so that you can be a part of what is going to be an ongoing peaceful and democratic revolution in Bradford. This is not the beginning of the end. As Mr. Churchill said, this is merely the end of the beginning. We have a revolution to complete. We're going to clean out the town hall. We're going to win the elections here next month in May. And we're going to change politics and change Bradford for good and for the better. Wassalamu alaikum. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you. Thanks to each and every one of you. Here's Kevin.
George, thank you very much. There's one final thing I'd like to say. If people can just hold with us for literally 90 seconds. As George said, those who would like their names to be considered, and they will be considered through a transparent process which is taking place over the next 24 hours to stand for the council, please come and take a form from Brother Naweed, who will be in front of the bus. There's one other thing. George mentioned this several times on the campaign trail. 3 weeks today, a gigantic convoy will head from this city through Europe to bring relief and to break the siege of Gaza. Those of you who are not throwing yourself into the election campaign over the next few days and weeks, we invite to take part in that convoy. How do you do it? Go to the website of Viva Palestina. It will guide you to where you can register for this convoy. Get a vehicle, raise money, go around the shops, ask the Imam at the mosque if they will do a collection to raise the money for the vehicle and for the aid. Book the time off work, be exactly here in 3 weeks' time, register on the convoy, and inshallah you will join us in a mighty seat-busting effort again for the 6th time to Gaza. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you very much. Everybody, please travel safely, safely home, drive safely. Please don't crush forward. Exit through all of the different exits so that everyone can get home safely. Thank you very much.